We all hear about real estate investing, right, as a path to wealth.
Hmm.
But, often that just brings up images of landlords dealing with leaky faucets or midnight tenant calls, constant repairs.
Yeah, not exactly passive sometimes.
It sounds anything but passive. So what if I told you there's a real estate investment that truly offers a radical liberation of your time and mental energy?
Okay.
An asset that kind of frees you from that daily grind of landlord duties, letting you focus entirely on your bigger goals.
I'm listening.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into exactly that, vacant land as an investment. Our insights for this deep dive come from an article called How Vacant Land Can Serve as an Excellent Passive Investment from the AHLA blog.
And our mission here really is to explore why vacant land presents this unique opportunity for wealth accumulation, especially for those of you seeking minimal upkeep and significant long-term profit potential.
Right.
Look at how it truly differentiates itself from, let's say, more conventional real estate.
Okay, so if vacant land is this kind of hidden gem, what's its secret weapon? I mean, what makes it such a compelling addition to an investment portfolio, especially if you're focused on diversification?
Well, maybe start with what it doesn't have.
Okay.
The most striking advantage is the near absence of maintenance costs.
Right. Think about it. Unlike rentals that, need constant oversight managing tenants, handling repairs, chasing rent, facing unforeseen expenses, vacant land requires very little ongoing involvement.
Yeah, there are no structures to fix, no appliances to replace.
And definitely no tenant dramas to navigate.
Exactly. What's truly fascinating here is how this lets you take a truly hands-off approach. You generally have no utilities to oversee unless the land is actually developed.
Which cuts down risk too, right? Wear and tear on buildings.
Precisely. That simplicity just frees investors up to focus on other interests without those daily property management obligations. It's a completely different rhythm of ownership.
That sounds almost too good to be true for real estate, though. What's maybe the biggest misconception people have about that hands-off part? Or what hidden consideration might still pop up even with vacant land?
That's a great question. Because while it is largely hands-off, the main ongoing task is really ensuring your property taxes are paid.
Okay. Taxes.
And critically, having the right insurance. People often overlook the need for a specific vacant land insurance policy. It's pretty essential to protect against unforeseen things like, say, trespassers getting injured.
Right.
So it's not zero maintenance, definitely not, but it's certainly not managing a multi-unit apartment complex, not even close.
What often catches people off guard, I think, about vacant land is its unexpected accessibility. Can you really start investing in land without breaking the bank, particularly for new investors?
Oh, absolutely. Vacant land is frequently more budget-friendly compared to other real estate, especially if you focus on rural or less developed regions. So that makes it a fantastic entry point for novice investors, or maybe those aiming to broaden their portfolio without a huge initial expense.
So how do you find that affordable land?
Well, you look in emerging, maybe still underdeveloped locations. And when it comes to financing, don't just think traditional bank loans. There are specialized land loans.
Land loans, okay.
And even owner financing can be surprisingly common and flexible, particularly with vacant land. That can open up opportunities you just might not find elsewhere in real estate.
Interesting.
Oh, and land auctions and foreclosure sales are also, prime hunting grounds for potential bargains.
Gotcha.
Now, okay, while land may not give you that immediate income like rentals do.
Right, no monthly rent checks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it typically appreciates pretty consistently over time. This is especially true in regions seeing population growth, maybe infrastructure improvements, or just rising housing demand generally.
Makes sense.
Land is, after all, a finite resource.
And the source we looked at highlights those concrete factors driving appreciation. Growing cities and towns, infrastructure projects, economic expansion. These can all boost the need for adjacent land and increase property values. So you're potentially looking at substantial profits when you decide to sell down the road. But how critical is understanding things like local zoning laws or potential environmental regulations compared to just watching population growth?
Where you've hit on a really crucial point there. While population growth is, a powerful driver, doing your due diligence on zoning and environmental factors is paramount. Absolutely critical.
Why is that?
Well, zoning dictates how the land can actually be used in the future, right? which directly impacts its value and how appealing it is to potential developers or buyers.
Okay.
And environmental assessments make sure there aren't any costly surprises
Hmm.
like contamination that could hinder development or even just the sale later on.
So, yeah, they're absolutely critical for evaluating the true long-term potential, not just the hype.
Exactly. Don't skip that homework.
So, beyond just, holding and waiting for appreciation, what does this all mean for how you can actually use the land? It seems like one of the biggest perks is its versatility.
hmm
Vacant land offers these adaptable investment approaches, different ways to generate income or achieve those long-term returns.
Exactly right. You've got several strategies you can choose from. For, let's say, income-generating alternatives,
Yeah.
you could consider land leasing,
Leasing. Like, to who?
renting your land to farmers, renewable energy firms maybe, or other businesses that need open space.
Right.
If the land has wooded sections, timber harvesting is an option. You can sell the timber while still preserving the land itself for future use.
Huh.
And then there's recreational use. You could potentially rent the land for activities like hunting, camping, ATV riding, other outdoor pursuits.
So wait, someone could literally be making money from a picturesque patch of woods while they're sitting at their day job.
Pretty much.
It's almost like the land is working for them, even if it's just hosting some weekend adventurers.
That's the idea. Then, of course, there are the longer-term approaches.
Right.
You can simply hold and wait. Just let the land appreciate over time and sell it when demand peaks.
The classic buy and hold.
Yep. Or, for more active long-term play, you could pursue development yourself. Maybe collaborate with developers, or even construct buildings to sell at a premium. That's obviously more involved.
Right, more involved, yeah.
Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, vacant land can be a surprisingly stable investment compared to, say, the stock market.
How so?
Well, the stock market can have those really abrupt, unpredictable fluctuations. Property values might vary, sure,
Mhm.
but land generally maintains its inherent value as a limited resource.
It's tangible.
It is. And it's not exposed to the same risks as properties linked to specific industries, like office buildings, or tenants, like apartments.
That's a really crucial point. Land is a finite resource. Demand is likely to increase as populations grow and expand. So that stability makes vacant land an appealing choice for investors aiming to, mitigate overall risk in their portfolios.
Definitely.
But quick question on that, how illiquid can vacant land be? If an investor suddenly needs to sell, maybe in a downturn, is it hard to unload quickly?
That's a very fair question. And yeah, it's definitely a consideration. Compared to, say, stocks or even a developed house in a hot market, vacant land can be less liquid, no doubt.
So selling quickly might mean,
It might require a price reduction, especially if the market's down or if the land is in a less developed area. That's why understanding those potential appreciation drivers we talked about and your own investment horizon is really key.
right.
It's typically more of a longer-term play, not usually ideal for quick flips unless you're maybe a skilled developer finding a specific opportunity.
Okay, that makes sense. So beyond the long-term appreciation, let's talk about more immediate financial upsides. Are there unique tax benefits here that investors should know about?
Yeah, owning undeveloped land can indeed offer various tax advantages. Now, it depends on how you use the property.
Of course.
But you might qualify for deductions on expenses like property taxes, loan interest if you financed it, and certain development costs if you go that route.
Okay.
For instance, using the land for farming might allow access to reduced property tax rates in some areas, and just maintaining ownership for an extended period, like over a year, can often lower your capital gains taxes when you eventually sell.
So it really does kind of lean into that hands-off, almost passive approach that a lot of investors dream about, mostly just monitoring the value and handling the taxes.
Largely, yes. But it's also really critical to mention that protective measure highlighted in the source, the need for a vacant land insurance policy.
Right, you mentioned that earlier. What does that cover exactly?
Well, it can cover claims from trespassers, like we said, but also provide protection if invited guests are injured. It can cover damage to the property itself in some cases, medical care, potentially legal fees if someone sues.
So it's a crucial layer of security, peace of mind.
Absolutely. And always, always work with reputable land companies or professionals to manage the purchase and paperwork.
Good advice.
They can help navigate the complexities of title searches, deeds, local regulations, stuff you don't want to get wrong.
Yeah, definitely not. Okay, circling back to a big picture benefit we touched on. Inflation. owning land seems like a fantastic way to safeguard your wealth from inflation, doesn't it?
It really does. As living costs generally increase over time, real estate values tend to follow suit, making land a pretty dependable asset in that regard.
And its scarcity.
Exactly. Since land is a limited resource, its scarcity inherently enhances its value over time. It's almost like a built-in hedge against inflation.
Okay, so to sort of summarize our deep dive here, vacant land seems to offer this really unique opportunity for a stable, passive investment with actually numerous benefits. Everything from its incredibly low maintenance and that powerful protection against inflation to its versatile income streams and surprising accessibility. It genuinely stands out in the real estate world as an asset that can work for you.
It really can. And maybe something for you, the listener, to consider further. How might those specific strategies we mentioned, like land leasing or maybe recreational use, how might they influence the type of vacant land you'd actually seek out?
Oh, interesting point.
Yeah, like would you prioritize road access more
Yes.
or unique natural features like water or woods? And what kind of specific due diligence would that then require beyond just the basic zoning checks we discussed?
Right, tailoring your search to your strategy. Ultimately, I guess the question for you to mull over is owning vacant land the right investment move for you?